Hi there, I'm back. It's Vicky Bailey. So you now know that the last 4 months have been quite challenging for me because I've had a heart attack. So there I am, leaving from the last one. I was waiting to go to Glenfield Hospital and they transferred me, as you might remember. And I was then in, I think it was called CDU. To be honest, it's all a bit of a blur where I was. It was very busy. I have never seen so many nurses, healthcare assistants, doctors, etc. I had blood tests. I had about 3 or 4 people around my bed asking me questions. And my memory of that is like, oh my gosh, I can't answer all these questions. It's all a bit surreal. So you watch telly, you watch these fly on the wall documentaries, and then I'm in this. This is actually real. So I think I went home about 4 o'clock in the morning, just to go and get a change of clothes, get me some bits and bobs because I was just in the clothes I was in. My mum, meantime, had placed a hole in the floor outside of my kitchen and was up all night worrying. So that kind of was there, and then suddenly it was quiet. The curtains went back. The flurry of activity from paramedics to people asking me how I am, to putting needles in my arm, to giving me lots of medication, to questions. It was suddenly, that was it. It was dark. It was the low lighting of a hospital. I was attached. I had lots of different wires coming off me. The machine kept bleeping because my heartbeat kept going under 50, and there's an alarm if it goes under 50. And there I was, lying 4 o'clock in the morning, not slept, didn't dare shut my eyes because I was scared to in case I didn't wake up. And I have no idea what was going to happen. And I'd seen different consultants because I guess over the night shift there's different consultants, and they were trying to diagnose what caused the heart attack, and they genuinely didn't know at this stage what it was. They were hypothesising around something that has a Japanese name, which I'm very remiss of me, I can't remember, which was to do with the tsunami, and they called it broken heart. They were surmising that the best synopsis would be that I've got a virus in my heart, and that would be like an viral infection, and that was what caused it. Because I was presenting with the typical things that they would check as okay, apart from the troponin levels. I remember lying there and just sort of taking in my surroundings and really consciously wanting to absorb what was going on, and just seeing other people in the bed who were so poorly. And there was such a diversity of people in this unit, and it was a very busy unit. And there were people who couldn't really breathe and, a lot poorlier than I was, even though I felt absolutely wretched. And then suddenly it was 6 o'clock in the morning. So I thought, gosh, I've got to do something practical here because my diary's full with work. It's now Thursday morning. I better check in with my mum, see where my kids are all right, etc., etc. So we told my girls that I wasn't very well and that I was having further tests, which is technically true. We didn't tell them the whole truth because I wasn't sure what I wanted them to know at this stage. And also my daughter was due to go to New York for the half term, which was a trip of a lifetime. She was definitely going on that. And then I contacted my brother, who gets up at 5 in the morning fortuitously, and my sister who lives in New Zealand, and was able to tell them. And then I contacted some very close and dear friends to share with them what was going on. And each time I said something, I wasn't able to say it without breaking down. So to be able to say it to you now 4 months on is a massive step for me, and a real positive that I can share with you this story with a bit of a smile on my face, not because anything else other than the fact that there's some joy now because I'm still here, which is, it was a sliding doors moment. Had that GP at the walk-in centre if he'd have not known about the blood test and not bothered to send me for the blood test, I'd have probably been sent home with a panic attack. So very much reflected through the whole of that night is, gosh, here I am, this is happening to me. So more drugs than I could shake a stick at in terms of injections and things in my tummy and blood thinners and blood pressure tablets, etc., etc. And the tiredness that I felt, I can't even begin to tell you. I was so exhausted, and I wouldn't shut my eyes. I did not want to shut my eyes because I was too scared to, in case I didn't wake up. And And to face that and to come to terms with that has been part of my journey and continues to be part of my journey. So I managed to get through to Thursday morning. I managed to let people know. And then I was moved to a cardiac ward. And much to my surprise, I went into the bay and I had the choice of positions, and there was a 4-bed. So I managed to get a position near a window, which was quite important to me to see the natural light. And then things started to become a new normal of me being in hospital for a week. And that in itself was something I hadn't experienced before. So there were so many firsts that there was just a floodgate of overwhelm, of fear, of thank goodness, because I'd felt so ill for so long before I had the heart attack, that actually something is going to be done about all this and the relief. And I was so tired and I was not going to go to sleep. And I'm going to leave it there for this session. I will speak to you soon.